the crowd. Now she's Panthers on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 235 of Fired Up Sports. Check us out at firedupsports.com. I'm Mike Gilletto. Joining me as always, Mark Ramos. Mark, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Hanging in there. It's not like we had some big breaking news that happened.
I thought
today.
you'd be talking about your birthday coming up here.
Yes, that is coming up. That's in a handful of hours here.
Yeah,
But no, I was mainly talking about the breaking news that we've been waiting for the last however many months.
yes,
Finally happened last night. AJ Brown no longer an Eagle. We'll get into it. Obviously, we Stanley Cup Finals start tonight.
yeah.
I'm watching that right now. It was 1-0 Carolina early. I haven't seen an update. Do you have an update? Do you know what the score is currently?
Yeah, it's first intermission 2-1 Hurricanes. So
2-1 Hurricanes.
25 seconds for the Canes.
Yeah, I saw the first goal, and then I had to put the kids to bed, and I missed the second half of the period. So.
Yep.
Yeah, so and then NBA Finals tomorrow night, right? So busy time, and obviously OTAs are going on around the NFL. So the June 1st date came and went, and AJ Brown got traded to the New England Patriots, a spot where he obviously, was hoping for and wanted, and apparently has wanted to be a New England Patriot his entire life. Although I'm just finding out about that now for some reason. We've talked about it before. I was tired of hearing about the AJ Brown stuff. I'm happy it's done. I think they got a solid return given all the facts and everything. How are you feeling now that it's finally over?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I like similarly to you. I like getting a first round pick for AJ is really, especially with everything going on, right? Like with all the fanfare and all that stuff that's been going on around him, to get a first round pick for him is a pretty good haul. They're always good to have those assets, and I think it's what he wanted. I think the Eagles were also preparing for this. They were clearly operating, now that we know what we know, they were clearly operating this offseason with the intention that he was not going to be here, because they've really kind of been reshaping that wide receiver room here for a large part of the summer, right? Like they use they use the first, they make the trade in the first round of the NFL draft. They get the Mekhi Lemon deal in here. Contavion Wicks from Green Bay is coming over. We're going to see an expanded role now, probably for Devontae Smith. So, and then there's a bunch of depth guys that have come in here. Elijah Moore. There's a couple others. So, yeah, that's kind of what I think coming into this this summer. The Eagles kind of knew. Very rarely, too, though. I feel like that plays out like that, like where someone gives like a actual date, and that's the exact date that it ends up going down. Like usually, it's they get bits and pieces of it right, but not the exact date.
Yeah, I'm just like, and obviously the only reason it was June 1st is like the money stuff and certain bonuses hitting certain time. Like NFL contracts are the most confusing thing in the world, so I'm not going to pretend I know what I'm talking about there. But so like that's the whole reason, obviously, for the June 1st thing. I'm just happy that like June 1st didn't come and go, and we're talking about this in like the middle of July. Like, oh, when's it gonna happen? Like, I just didn't want to hear about it all summer. I just didn't want to do that. So I'm just glad they just got out of the way. They got their rumored return. It's been rumored for weeks, months now. The first round pick. And I know a lot of Eagles fans are like kind of bummed that we gotta wait 2 years for that pick, or really only a first and a fifth, when like Jalen Waddle got, what did he get, a first and a second or a first and a third? So like, this is all we got for AJ Brown. It's like, one, AJ Brown is older than Jalen Waddle. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the Eagles had zero leverage here. Like, it's a guy who wanted out. Everybody knew he wanted out. He wasn't happy. There weren't many teams interested. by all accounts. I saw a rumor that like the Rams were interested. They saw something with the medical that they didn't love. They backed out. If that rumor's true, like there weren't like it seemed like it was the Patriots or nobody. And I know within the last week they kind of threw a couple like random teams in there to kind of, I don't know if it was from the Eagles camp to try to drum up some sort of bidding war, but virtually it was New England or nobody, and I'm surprised they even got a first, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Rams thing was interesting. I just seen that. I think it was the reporter from the Inquirer, McLean, I think, was the one that had that. Which is also, remember, like last season, we actually talked about on this show throughout football season. We were talking about AJ kind of like really not looking all that explosive. And if there's like teams are unearthing some medical issues with knees or something like that. I don't like that for receivers, no matter what. You know what I mean? Especially a guy that's getting older. So yeah, I mean, like to get the first was a big haul. Where even though you got to wait for it, they're good assets to have in the chamber, and we know the Eagles, right? Like, with Howie and all at the helm, he'll turn them around and swing them in a trade or a bigger trade to address shore up a need or something like that, or he'll find a way.
Yeah.
So
for sure, and people aren't gonna have to wait. I don't think 2-3 years to see this draft pick because I do think there's something to that. It's like if you like a guy in next year's draft, maybe you use that first from New England and package it to get the guy next year, or you have the missing piece that's available for trade. Maybe you use that to go get. I think people were hoping for a Myles Garrett, but obviously that's not happening. But it's a trade kind of like that. I think can make a lot of sense using that pick.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And but yeah, it's a shame because there's like there's been so much stuff out there about Brown and his time here, and like he's a part of a championship winning team here, and it's like it just never really felt. I don't know. It always kind of felt auspicious. Like it always kind of felt like it was up and down with him. Even when things were going real well,
Here's the question I have for you. Because how many years did he spend in Tennessee? Like 4 or 5, give or take? I think it was around the same, maybe. So, but looking back, and obviously his career's not finished yet. He's, he still has 4 years left on his contract, and who knows if he plays after that, whatever. But if it's 4, if he plays these next 4 and retires, at that point he'll play essentially, again, I don't know the exact number he played with Tennessee, 4 or 5 years. 4 years with Tennessee, 4 with the Eagles, 4 with the Patriots. And after his career's said and done, how's he remembered? Like, what's his legacy in the league? Like, is he an Eagle? Is he a Patriot? Like,
right.
I'm curious as to see what kind of his legacy is, because if it didn't end this poorly and it just kind of like it made sense, time to move on from him, and it didn't end so tumultuously, I think no doubt he won a Super Bowl. He best years in Philly, like then he'd be considered an Eagle. But it ended, I think, so poorly and so like weird and cryptic that like I'm not sure how it goes. And obviously the next 4 years, matter, and how he does in New England matters. But I'm curious as to how he's remembered.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting way to he'll be an interesting case study that way, because I really don't know, like because he was on that team, but there's other guys that feel more. He was on that championship team against the Chiefs, but there are a lot of guys on that team that I think they'll be more like we'll think of them more, and they may not even more beloved, or some guys that who may not even be on that team, or who are not on the team anymore, but were on that team and didn't play as long as he did here. We may love those players like as if they were here much longer, So it's a weird thing, and I think it's just because of the now everything. I think we look back on last season, his kind of back and forth with Sirianni and that kind of thing, whereas like we were looking at it just from through the scope of playing football, but obviously there was bigger problems than that here. And this is something apparently, I mean, he had been asking for, to be traded for a while now.
Yeah,
So,
I saw the report come out. I'm not incredibly surprised because right around that same time, you saw his name pop up on like trade block board. Like, oh, will the Eagles trade AJ Brown? It's like at the time, I think we were probably all thinking like, where's that coming from? The Eagles are 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, whatever it was. Why would they trade their number one receiver? But like looking back now, I think it makes sense.
yeah. Yeah. So, and I mean, then like there's all that other kind of stuff, all the salacious stuff that's out there.
A lot's out there. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah. Just
And
go ahead and
everyone involves like a significant other or a female, like all of it.
Yeah.
Every rumor that's out there.
yeah, about, relationships and all kind of personal stuff out there.
Massage therapists or something. Like I don't know. There's a lot of shit out there. A lot of shit out there.
Yeah, and it's like people are gonna be drawn to that stuff, so I don't think you like can shy away from it, but it's just like I don't know how much like I haven't heard that from somebody in the know, so I can't like substantiate it. You know what I mean?
But here's why I don't know if believe's the right word, but like here's why I can't rule it out. Because he's had so much success as an Eagle in terms of stats and winning. Right, they went to 2 Super Bowls in his 4 years. They made the playoffs all 4 years. They won a Super Bowl in his 4 years. If it's not anything off the field, then why? Why are you so miserable? Why do you want to get out? Like, what's driving him away? Because like on the field, and I know targets are an issue. So like we thought maybe it was like Patullo. He didn't get along with Patullo or Sirianni, and like maybe he didn't like his role, whatever. But like you get rid of Patullo, maybe hey that can kind of help the relationship. Maybe he's good under Mannion, but like clearly not. Like to me, him wanting to get off of the Philadelphia Eagles has nothing to do with on the field. So that makes me think it's off the field. So why is it off the field? Is it all the stuff that's been coming out, or one of the like? It's just it makes you think.
Yeah, it does, and when for all those reasons that you laid out, once once that stuff's out there, then it becomes like, well, that's what it was. Because I mean, I was asking, I think we both were throughout when all this stuff started kind of coming to the forefront here. We all kind of thought that like we were on here talking about it, and it was like there's no better there's very few situations better for a player like AJ Brown than playing for the Eagles.
Sure.
And so we were like, what is he so miserable about?
Yep.
But, so it does make it feel like, okay, well, what else was going on? And was there like a personal thing going on there? And, so there's a lot of things that I'll remember him for here. Obviously the championship, the him reading the book on the sideline sticks out to me as like a large AJ Brown in an Eagles midnight cream memory.
Yeah.
I won't forget that one.
It was a very weird time, but like,
Yeah.
at that point we didn't realize. I don't think we obviously none of this happened or whatever, and he didn't ask out at that point. But like at that point, it was just like AJ Brown's just a quirky guy.
Yeah.
Like well, there wasn't. I don't think anybody really read into it too much. Maybe now,
Yeah.
people will. But
I saw somebody share on Twitter on X. Someone shared his when he spoke at the Super Bowl parade.
mm-hmm. Yep.
And one thing that stuck out to me, and I know a lot of guys are like this, especially players that play wide receiver or like when you're in like a prime time position like that, you play like a like well-known, like fun, exciting position. But his speech, like looking back on it now, doesn't really age all that particularly well for me. It's very me first. Like, sure. And nothing really, not a whole lot about the team's success. It was more about, all these people that were talking about me, like, look at me now kind of thing. And that's fine. But I think those guys tend to have, that tends to have a shelf life and it runs its course. And after a while, you know what I think of it as the whole, remember back in, in his time in Boston with the Red Sox, like the whole Manny being Manny thing with Manny Ramirez.
Man, he
It
got
was
away with
like,
whatever he wanted. Yeah.
yeah, like when you're that good, like you can do
Yep.
what you want.
Hmm.
But Manny being Manny on the Dodgers, well, that's not as fun. You
Right.
know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
now it starts to get a little annoying because the results aren't there. So it's like,
I think
um,
that's why Terrell Owens was able to do what he did his entire career because he he
yeah,
he 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 battled on the field. Yeah, he was a pain in the ass off the field, but when it was time to go, like if Terrell Owens, and I don't even think it's fair to really compare Terrell Owens to AJ Brown, so that's not what I'm necessarily doing. But like
mhm,
in To's case, it was he was a pain in the ass off the field, but when it was time to come play on Sunday, he would give it 110%, bust his ass. He left it all on the field. And that Super Bowl with the Eagles, he had what, 11 catches, 110 yards on like a broken
oh,
foot. Like he had no business playing that game.
yeah,
He was
he was great.
incredible. He would never, and even if things were not great locker room wise, he would never have done the performances that AJ Brown did this season, with just flat out quitting.
Yeah,
Flat out quit.
yeah, and that's one thing that like you can't. It's hard to come back from that. When that when that happens. And yeah, I mean, like it's complicated. We kind of had a similar conversation, right, Mike? Like earlier earlier this year about Nick Castellanos and like his legacy with the Phillies and
Mhm.
how does that, and it's really complicated because it's like there were some highs and some good moments. In AJ's case, there was the ultimate high, right? Like he was on a championship caliber team and won a championship here. So those guys, you know, they have a spot in Philadelphia sports lore forever. But it just doesn't feel like it feels like the complete opposite of how you would want a player like that to go out. But like yeah, I mean, all I could think about is that apparently this is what he wants. Like New England is his like his premier destination, and
Yeah, like, and it's weird because and of course now that he is traded, like, yeah, I didn't want to hear about it all summer about is he going to get traded, but now all summer I'm just going to hear clips of AJ Brown talking apparently. So like I've seen his press conference today, or I saw Vrabel's press conference today, and Vegas scored, tied it up.
oh
So I saw Vrabel's press conference, and he said even like in Tennessee, he was saying, "Oh, I'm happy to be here, but I kind of wish New England drafted me." Like that's weird. You just got drafted to the
yeah,
NFL, and you're telling that team that picked you. Well, I kind of wish New England, and maybe Vrabel just kind of playing that up. Maybe that didn't happen. Maybe he's just joking around because
yeah.
it's easy to say in hindsight, I guess. But if that is true, it's bizarre. It's a bizarre move.
It is, and like to see now, like, which I think is funny, but like to see like he's sharing like AI generated pictures of him like as a baby with like New England Patriots jerseys on.
Is that AI? Have we confirmed that's AI? I saw
The
there's
one,
a report too.
the one definitely is because it has like a Patriots logo like off to the right a little bit, like it's like off center. It doesn't look like an NFL like official jersey or
Yeah,
anything.
and then I saw somebody like broke it down to the fact that like there was like a Nike logo on it, and like Nike wasn't a part of the NFL until much older when he was much older. It's like, all right, if that's true. Again, I didn't do any research. I don't know anything about that. But if that's
Yeah.
true, it's a little
That should
weird.
be the that would have been the NFL equipment Reebok era probably when an
Yeah,
AJ would have had that jersey.
right.
But even that, right? Speaking of the AI thing, I saw I saw some people talking about his statement that he released, like thanking Philadelphia and all that. And AJ, someone said like I don't know, like I don't know how they do that, but someone said it was like 90% AI generated the statement.
Really?
Yeah, his like goodbye statement.
You just typed it into ChatGPT. Hey, write me a
Yeah,
statement of leaving the Eagles.
yeah, and and so it definitely after seeing that, it was hard not to think about it being
Yeah.
reading it like as if like an AI bot spit that out. So so yeah, like that part was funny, but yeah, I think for the Eagles it'll be a good it'll be a welcome non-distraction now. The guys at the camps today, I know some guys were asked about it, and everybody looks like they're just ready to move forward and like, hey, he's not here, so and business as usual. And I love that because this team obviously has bigger goals, this coming season. So, and I actually, even without, they're not better today without AJ Brown in that receiver group. Obviously, having a player that caliber, you would be better off with him than without him. But I do like the way the receiver group looks now. And I'm really excited for Devontae Smith and in more now in like a de facto number one receiver role and how he'll do in that role.
So I agree with that statement for the most part. The fact that they're worse without him than than with him, but I think I agree with that if you're talking about like 2 years ago, AJ Brown. Like I don't know if they're worse off with last year's AJ Brown or without last year's, because like he just. And I don't know if he was horrible, but like just constantly just taking plays off, not giving it his all, being a distraction. I don't know if I want to use the locker room cancer word, but like by all counts, that's kind of what I'm going to label him as right now. Like, so I think just it's almost like addition by subtraction, almost. Whereas like I think it's kind of like a weight off your shoulders, right? Like it's like, all right, everybody can breathe. Like we know our job. Let's move forward. Let's get past this. And I think they're better off for it in the long term. Like talent wise, sure. Like I agree with you, but I just think they're better off.
Yeah, and I think there's some good upside plays here. I mean, like Mekhi Lemon's going to have steady work in out there now. Contavion Wicks too. I'm interested to see what he looks like in this man-and offense. He's familiar with him from his time in Green Bay. So I'm interested to see how he looks. And then, of course, like, Goddard's still in the mix. They still have Saquon now, so like offensively, I mean, they're still going to be a pretty potent unit. But, I time will tell. But I mean, I could totally see that, them just addition by subtraction type of thing, too. They're pretty good at that.
Yeah. And I saw everybody kind of a little uneasy that Mekhi Lemon's already a little banged up, hamstring injury. But everybody relax. It's June.
Yeah.
Training camp doesn't start for another like 2 months. Like relax.
Yeah. And it's probably just tightness from not doing work like that typically. You know what I mean? Weather's hot. Like it's he'll be okay.
He'll be fine. Everybody calm down. I've been saying it a lot lately. It's like there's nobody more bored than NFL fans in like the summer. They just constantly just make up shit to be mad about.
Yeah, the camp stuff and OTAs and stuff going on there.
Yeah, Elliott Shore Parks like posting like training camp stats. Like I don't need any of that.
Yeah, Yep. So no, I mean like that's where we're at though. We knew it was coming eventually, and coming to fruition here. It's I don't know. Everybody looks like they got what they wanted out of it. So,
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, that's all I have for the Eagles, really. The one little piece of Flyers thing, and it's obviously can't happen yet, so it's not confirmed. But the report from Elliot Freeman that I read today is that the Flyers basically are going to sign Vladar to a 5-year extension. I'd have to see the number. I'd have to see the AAV, but to me, that seems absolutely insane.
Yeah. I will preference anything I say on this rumor and stuff like. I love Dan Vladar. I think he's a really talented guy. Best case scenario.
He scored again, by the way, 3-2.
Canes did?
No, Vegas.
Oh, Vegas scored. Okay,
Vegas, 3-2.
But yeah, I mean, after he's never been a starter in his career up until this point. Has a great year, comes in arguably, absolutely was the team's MVP this year. But 5 years is a long time. And he hasn't really proven that he can do it over multiple years. Now, I believe in his game. I think provided he's healthy and the Flyers in Tockett's system are going to defend the way they're going to defend, I think it'll be good for him. But that's a long time. That's a long-term commitment, and that's going to take. I mean, that'll take him up to his mid-30s, I think, a 5-year deal. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, when you're just talking about the AJ Brown stuff, Dan Vladar really loves being a Flyer. I think he really enjoyed his time here, and he wants to be here. So
Yeah, and I get that. And again, he was incredible this year. He was the Flyers MVP. They don't beat Pittsburgh without him. They don't make the playoffs without him. But it's not like he was a free agent this year.
right,
If
he had
you want
another year.
if you want to give him an extension, that's fine. I get it. You want to reward him for what he did. Give him 2-3 tops. Give him a 2-year deal. And then that's he's got 2 more after next year. But like you don't necessarily even have to give him the deal. Like you could have waited. You could have saw what he was next year. Yeah, you get a bigger sample size. But again, even if you wanted to give him the extension, get 2 to 3 years. There's no reason to go 5 years on him. Zero reason.
Yeah. So, and I know, too, the Flyers are, throughout their system, they really have, to my knowledge, right now, the one kid out of Russia,
The Reagan? Am I
is there
saying that right?
something like that. I don't know.
Russian names, I can't ever figure them out until they're over here and they pronounce them like with,
Yeah.
with regularity. I can't. I don't know.
Yeah. So I know he's kind of like the one that they see as like true starter potential. They have other goalies in their system. It's just I don't know if they see any of them as more than backup goaltenders.
Have they just given up on like Bjarnason? Am I saying that right?
I mean, he played his first year in Lehigh
Right.
Valley Pro this year.
I don't think he's a starter. I mean, he was a high pay, second round, I think, right?
I mean, yeah, he could. I'm not sure. Maybe they still do see him as that. But the point I'm trying to make is that, they don't see any of these guys as ready for
Sure.
that spot
Yeah.
anytime soon. And, same thing with we were saying during the season when that Christian Dvorak contract came down, it was like, well, there's only so many spots. And it's like, what's that mean for like the Lachenko and the Jack Berglunds and guys like that? Are they does that block them from getting a chance to make the club within a year or two? So that's kind of where that's at. But it's hard. It's like they could have went into next season and kind of gotten more of a book on him and his ups and downs, whatever, because he was under contract for next season. You could have waited and gave him the same deal if you guys were still okay with going 5 years or whatever. You could have waited. It's like, why did it have to be done now? Especially because of like what we said, there's just not a big sample for what he's done. He was very, very good last year. But we don't know yet if he can carry that through. And goaltending is really hard to predict. So,
Sure,
guys go up and down in the league
All the time. Yep.
So, but who knows? We're saying that, but maybe he becomes like a high end guy and a model of consistency. That could be the case too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we can move on. To be honest, I didn't really have a whole lot of like Phillies things I wanted to talk about. Did you have anything going on with the Phillies right now that you kind of wanted to discuss? There's really not a whole lot going on. They played the Padres tonight, 3-2 win. Casty's returned to Philly. He wasn't in the lineup though, but I saw he got a nice little ovation. But other than that, there's really not a whole lot going on with the Phillies right now. Other than I think All-Star voting, I think just happened or is about to happen.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at, the California trip through San Diego and LA, and they finished up that trip 4-2, but they weren't hitting particularly well in it. And that kind of started to look like, I don't know what they ended up having tonight, but I didn't.
It's
the game. Yeah.
that is a good question. I think Harper homered, right?
Harper did homer.
9 hits tonight.
9 hits. Okay. So, pretty good night there. Solid night for Nola too. We had talked about Nola before, just trying to get him back on track here. I think both his last 2 starts have been decent. He's not going super deep in the games or anything, but he's giving you something. I think he went 5 innings tonight. So
gave up a home run, but like we expect that.
yeah. Hey, listen, give up the home run, but like keep it a solo shot and just give us one. That's fine. I'll take that at this point.
Yeah.
Like don't give up multiple and 3-run shots, but situational ball for Nola. But no, yeah, I mean Turner had 2 hits too, so I know he's really kind of been under the gun here, struggling lately, and there are guys too, like guys like Turner and all. I do expect them to be better, and I think they will be. It's a long season, and they'll come around. He's too good of a hitter to not come around. So
yeah, he'll come around at some point, and then he'll disappear in October and November like they always do. So
all right, well, I wasn't going to do all that. It's June 2nd.
Yeah, I know. I apologize. We got all summer to complain about the Phillies.
yeah. But good win tonight. I was happy with that after the trip and the come home, especially because when they took off for their West Coast swing, they weren't looking too hot there against the Reds and the Guardians. So I was glad to see that.
Yeah, for sure. One thing, I mean, I feel like every week we kind of bring his name up, but like Christopher Sanchez is just on another planet.
Oh yeah,
the season he's having. I mean, he's one of the front runners for Cy Young at this point, right? Has to be.
He's got to be at this point. I think. Broke a 115-year-old record last week.
He's not that far from like the MLB record.
Yeah. It was like 40-something innings, scoreless innings or something, shutout innings.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's 14 innings away from the MLB record.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
No, it's definitely within reach, Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, he's been so good. And it's been great. Like we needed that, right, coming into the year. I remember last offseason, after we got the Zach Wheeler news, we were like, someone in this rotation is going to have to step up and be, and it so far it's been Sanchez, and it's he's been excellent. I would love to see them, in an ideal world, they can kind of continue to win, and maybe you can add another arm to that rotation, and then you got like Sanchez, Wheeler, and like maybe you go get another guy. You can slide up in the higher end of the rotation. That would be great.
Tarek Skubal?
Oh man, I would. That'd be amazing.
I'm really curious to see how that's going to unfold.
Yeah,
because until the CBA stuff is figured out, which isn't going to be figured out for a long time, it's going to be a very tumultuous, off season into next season. But I don't see any situation where you sign him before you know what you have to work with. If there's a salary cap, not salary cap, like you can't sign him before that happens. No. So I don't know what teams are going to be willing to give up for a guy that you're not going to really want to sign. I'm just curious how that unfolds.
Yeah, and he's been very, I think he's still hurt right now.
He is hurt, yeah.
So
I think he's fairly close to coming back, though, I think. Is what I
yeah, he might be close to coming. He's been out for a while. I think he might have went on, did he go on the 30-day? He went on, he was on the...
He was out, I think, when they announced it, I thought I saw 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks he'd be out. So I don't know what list they put him on, but yeah. He's been out for a while.
Yeah, he's been out for a while, and it's a weird situation. Go back to the World Baseball Classic, right? When the season started, it was like he was 1 foot in, 1 foot out with the World Baseball Classic. In one respect, you can understand his prerogative because, you don't want to mess up that bag. You don't want to mess up the chance to get paid. And, so you want to make sure that you're healthy. But I don't know, man. If you're the Tigers, it makes a ton of sense, right? If you're not in it.
The Tigers stink this year, too.
Yeah, they do. So you're not in it. So, let's flip them for a haul. But it's not a normal season because I think everybody's anticipating that they're gonna lock the players out.
Yeah.
So, in the event that that happens, it's like, do you really want to, sign some like landmark contract with like one of the best pitchers in the game, even though he's one of the best pitchers in the game, and then like there's going to be no baseball to play.
Right. Or not even no baseball, but like say they finally agree to a $400 million cap, right? I don't know if the players ever are going to agree to a cap, but say they do agree to 450, and you just, before they agree to that, you sign them to $40 million a year. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I gotta figure something else out because I can't afford him anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm over the cap at this point. Like, so
Yeah.
I just don't know how you can sign them without figuring the financials out.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing. It's tough to be in that situation. I think if you're him and like not know how you're going to get the money, or someone's going to give him the money, but it's just like, we just don't know where it is, or
Yeah.
and when that investment's going to start paying off for you, whoever decides to sign it.
Right. And if no team is willing to sign him until they know the financials yet, like, with all the unknowns, what are you willing to give up in terms of like prospects and assets and all that stuff? So
Right.
I'm intrigued to see what that trade looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think like, if there's a team that's like really like, and the Phillies could be primed for something like that. Like if you feel like this is your window isn't as open as it once was, do you empty the chamber to get a guy like Scooble in there, knowing that that's your best crack to beat, like, because the Phillies are in the National League, so they're going to have to go through the Dodgers to get to the series. So it's like, is that something you consider? That's way down the road. We're not talking about now, but like,
No, right now, give him Aiden Miller because he's never gonna play baseball again.
Yeah, Miller and Painter in the same deal or something.
Yeah.
So
Because Miller has zero value to me. He's never gonna play baseball again. See you later.
So yeah, I mean, like, maybe that's something you consider at that point. It depends on where they were at. But yeah, like, I mean, that might be an option to explore that. And I would imagine, like you were saying, the Tigers aren't very good this year, so that they got to be open to that, I would imagine, like, at this point. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, so I mean, like, that's pretty much where we're at with the Phillies. They're home again here, so hopefully they can keep up what they did tonight, because there's a lot of good positives to come from that game tonight.
For sure. Are you interested at all in the NBA Finals? You going to tune in, or you don't really care what happens one way or another?
I watch it every year, so yeah. I don't want to see the Knicks win. Like,
that's understandable.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Knicks win it. And I mean, like, Victor Wembanyama is like an absolute like freak out there. So he's always a pleasure to watch. I was not expecting them to beat Oklahoma City. I didn't think they would have gotten past the Thunder, but they did. So
I saw people criticizing him because he was like crying after the game. It's like, I don't see enough emotion from NBA players, so I kind of don't hate. Like, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, he's a really, really great. I mean, obviously, freak athlete, that size, that kind of like rangy and athletic.
Yeah, like he's so big that like it looks awkward when you watch him play.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Obviously, everybody in the NBA is gigantic, but like they're all roughly the same size. They're all gigantic, so it doesn't look as weird. But you just see him, and he's just so much bigger than everybody else.
Yeah.
It just looks weird.
It's funny because like it's what I imagine that like in the 50s and 60s, like what people saw Russell and Wilt look like.
Right, yeah.
And like where everybody's like 6'1", and here they are. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, they're the two biggest guys in the league.
Yeah, it's like if I played my 4-year-old in basketball, it's like the same size difference.
Yeah. So I am gonna watch it though. I will follow along with that series. I'm very, very interested to see how if the Knicks can carry this through here.
They've destroyed everybody they've played. So
And I didn't expect that like
Yeah.
this year. I thought like they would have had a tougher road. I didn't think that they were like watching them dismantle Cleveland. I didn't think that the talent disparity was that large between them. But I mean, the Knicks were they look so good in that series. As much as I hate to admit it, like I'll watch and I think like I'll be rooting for the Spurs for it. I think, and I'll be following along with the Cup final as well for hockey and I'm
now. The Kings tied it up.
yeah. So set up for a good finish there.
Yep.
Even though they took down the Flyers, I do want to see the Canes win. I want to see them win for Rod again. What a great career! I know we talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I just can't.
I'm bitter. We can call it what it is. I'm bitter.
Yeah. I can't. Vegas, the way Vegas does business,
I get it. I totally get it.
There's nothing wrong with it because it's like within the rule book. Although it may slightly be pushing up against the rule book, it's still very like. It's okay. Like I don't have a problem with it per se, but it's just like I just don't like that they do that. Like it's just like you know what I mean. Like I just rather root against them when you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, and obviously nobody likes him now because of the Carter Hart thing. So
right,
that adds an element to it. But
yeah, and like Tortorella coming in and coaching not even 25 games, and he's like in the cup final. Like it's like they did Bruce Cassidy dirty, man.
yeah, they did.
So
and he's not happy either.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You heard him talk about it at all?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he was on Spit and Chicklets like last week, I think, and they kind of told him like, what's your opinion, like, how you feeling, whatever. He's like, it's disappointing that like they just are not allowing me to work. He's like, all I want to do, like, I'm a hockey coach, just let me talk to these teams, let me see what if they're interested. Well, like all I want to do is coach. Like he's really disappointed that they're doing that to him.
I'll have to listen to that. I haven't listened to Chicklets in a while, but I'd be interested to hear what Butchie's got to say about that. Because that sucks. That's a shitty situation, and then to watch the team go to the final, like
right.
I do enjoy though, like as somebody who like really thought like Mitch Mariner was a good player, like a really good talent. I do like seeing him kind of like stick it to people.
That's one of the reasons I was going to say I'm kind of like rooting for Vegas. I think that Mitch Marner Toronto stuff is hilarious.
Yeah,
really funny.
I mean, like he was objectively like really good, and he's a pretty sick player. Like it's not like to see him go somewhere else in an environment where they have that structure and all they care about is winning, and to watch him have some success there is awesome. And,
I also really love Jack Eichel. I think he's a dog.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Love the way he plays.
Yeah. So, but I do think the Canes are going to win this series. I'm expecting it to be a long series and a good one.
I hope so because it's been a while since we've had a good series in these playoffs. Like as a whole, these playoffs, and I'm a biggest hockey fan you'll ever meet. These playoffs have been terrible. I haven't liked them at all.
Yeah,
a lot of lopsided games. There's been a very short series. Like other than the first round, I think rounds 2 and 3 have sucked. I don't know.
Too, it's like it makes me kind of miss the traditional 1 through 8 format, seeding format. Because now like where it's like it feels like the new playoff format has like where you have your top 3 teams in each division, and then it's just everything's jumbled behind that.
Yeah,
and it's like so. Like it used to be like way better, I think, when you just had the first seed played the 8th seed, the second seed played the 7th seed. You know what I mean? Like so on and so forth. Like it was better that way. Occasionally you get some upsets in there, but just have like if you're one of the best teams in the league all year, in round 2, like the potential to draw a team that finished just directly behind you is it just I don't know. Like those teams deserve. If you're the best team all year, then like you deserve objectively, or by the standings definition of the easiest path, to the cup final, and then play the best team when you get there. So, but I was surprised. I was surprised to see too, like, watch Vegas kind of take down Colorado like they did. And
Colorado was very banged up.
Yeah, so I was still surprised to see that. Even though McCarr missed some time, and I think McKinnon missed one, didn't he?
I don't think he missed one, but I think that series went 5. What did they go? 5 games, or was that a sweep?
I thought they swept them.
Okay, yeah, I think he got hurt at the end of game 3. He played game 4, but I think he was like 50%. Like I think he was really banged up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was surprised to see that, but yeah, they got a good team and they've been good for a while now. The Knights, and McCrimmon does a really good job with that group, and yeah. So I mean, like they're two of the like real well best ran organizations in the sport. I think Carolina and Vegas. So. But I think Carolina's going to pull it out. We'll see, though.
We'll see. I'm pulling for Vegas. Again, I'm bitter. We
that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, all right. I got nothing else to talk about. The one thing, are you a World Cup guy? You're going to tune in because it's coming up soon. We're almost there.
Yeah, I will tune in. The last one, I'm trying to think. I watched a little bit of the qualifiers, and so I'll give this a watch too, just because of it being in the city and all that.
Right. Yeah.
I'll watch the game.
I'm sure traffic will be an absolute nightmare, but
oh yeah, if I can avoid it, I'll go. I won't be going anywhere. I'll be staying home all summer long with all the events in the city, in and around the city this summer. But yeah. I'll check in with that for sure. And especially because it's such a big thing for the city to host it.
Sure, yep.
Like this is, I don't know if people who aren't like soccer fans or anything like that, they know how global this and national this thing really is. Like people from all over the world come to this. It's like a big thing in the city. I'm sure it'll be packed with tourists and things like that throughout the summer. So I'll definitely be watching that.
Yeah, that starts I think in like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yep. What cities are? It's Philly, New York. Oh, I'm going to call it New Jersey because it's not New York. New Jersey. And do you know who else is hosting? Is it just those two? Is LA out? Maybe it's not on the other side. Is it the other side of the country?
I'm trying to remember.
I think I saw Canada and Mexico are also hosting some games too. I think.
Oh, are they?
I believe so.
I gotta look it up because I don't remember.
Let me see. Oh, 16 cities. Jeez.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, LA, Miami, New York / New Jersey. I like how they threw New Jersey in there. Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, and then Mexico City, Guadalajara. I'm impressed I said that correctly. Mexico
Great
City,
job there.
That was pretty good, right?
That was good.
Monterey, then 2 in Canada, Toronto and Vancouver.
Yep. Yeah, so that'll be fun to see that. I can't imagine what those games in Mexico and Mexico City and stuff like they're gonna be like.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're big into their soccer down there. Or football. We'll call it
football. Yep.
So I'm not like the biggest soccer fan, but I'll tune in. Like the World Cup's always fun. You know what I have been watching, and I'm not gonna act like I'm like religiously watching it, but I've been intrigued with the college softball World Series. It's been a lot of drama.
Oh yeah,
a lot of drama going on in the college World Series of softball.
Yeah, my dad used to tune into that quite a bit. Yeah, he used to watch the college softball World Series a lot.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a while, but some of the games are really good, and I haven't watched it though. Who's some of the top schools like that you're watching?
Texas Tech, I think, is like the villain right now. From everything I've seen, they kind of collected like with the NIL and the transfer portal, they just grabbed like a bunch of transfers from all these like top tier schools and just created like a super team.
Yeah,
And apparently they're just like pissing everybody off.
that's awesome.
Yeah, they've just full on villain role. They played Jason Williams. Where did he go to school? Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Florida. Yeah. Have you heard this story? His daughter plays for Texas Tech. She did play. She transferred from Florida last year. This is her first year at Texas Tech. They played Florida in the regionals. Apparently they hit Mia Williams, which is Jason's daughter, 5 times in the game, and then she hit either a game tying or game winning home run like late in the game. Like just to shove it right in their face. They refused. I think Florida refused to shake hands after the game. Like there was bad blood.
Oh my god,
Bad blood.
I gotta tune into this. I saw Jason Williams' name and his daughter get mentioned, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was referring to. But
Yeah.
I wish that I knew. No, I wish I knew sooner. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, they hit her 5 times.
There's not enough of that in sports
No,
today.
bring hatred back in sports.
Yeah, you gotta like your rivals and stuff like that. You know, like whatever. Like it's not personal, but like on the field, on the field, on the court, on the ice, whatever. You know, like that's an enemy in that other color. Like let's make it.
And I'm going to do whatever it takes to beat you.
Yeah, let's bring some of that back. I think
that's why I don't think the Stanley Cup Finals or the Stanley Cup playoffs have been that great. Because like other than like the Flyers Penguin series or the Tampa Montreal series, like there's been zero hatred among any team in the playoffs, and you just haven't felt it. Bring hatred back in sports.
That's what we need, man. You need to like. There's got to be some like you mentioned Texas Tech being a villain. You need more villains.
Yeah, definitely.
We need more like that's what I think's so good right now, like about baseball with the Dodgers. Like, there's nobody unless you're outside that area, right? Like, there are a few people that like are baseball fans that like the Dodgers, but like it's like perfect because you have to have that like, you know, you got to have someone slay Goliath. You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of those things.
Yeah,
but.
Definitely. So, but yeah, I definitely recommend tuning in. And I think the College Baseball World Series starts fairly soon, I think.
Yeah, I think it does.
All right, I got nothing else. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I think we got through everybody here. The Sixers, did we mention Mike Gansey?
No, we didn't. I did mean to. You would know much more than I would. Do you like the hire?
I do. I think from I understand that, you know, like he spent a lot of time in Cleveland, but he's also like somebody who, like he spent a lot of time on the developmental side of, you know, the organization and stuff like that, and has more of a, I think, handle on that, which is like really the Sixers are going to have to like. Because so much of their future draft compensation and stuff is tied up with like the Clippers and the Paul George move and all that. You're gonna have to, like, you're really gonna have to make your picks count and stuff like that coming up here. And so to have somebody who's like got an eye for the developmental side of the game in basketball, I think should help them. And they're still looking to hire a general manager, it looks like, too. So I'm waiting for that to come down. But I do like the hire. I think it's a good fit for the Sixers.
Okay. Nice. Well, we'll see how what direction they choose to go in.
Yeah.
But, all right. That'll do it this week for Friday Sports. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And go like us on, where are we at? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere.
Yep,
so,
we're
and
everywhere.
YouTube as well. So. Yep, we will see everybody next week. See you then.